Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another video on FIFA 21, and we have returned. Videos are back, and today we are back with an attacking tutorial, a full breakdown of how to attack this year in FIFA 21. So if you do enjoy the content and you do want to see more, make sure you do hit that subscribe button. It would be much appreciated. Make sure you do follow us on Twitch as well. We will be streaming Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 6 PM, so make sure you do go and drop a follow over there. If you do have any other questions regarding anything FIFA related or just generally, you can tweet us. It will be much appreciated and we'll get around to all your questions and answer them as quick as possible. So without further ado, going into our attacking tutorial, and today we have got 4 of the best tips and tricks to hopefully help you become a more consistent attacker in FIFA 21, as this year, for me, I really enjoy the game this year and think it's very, very good. So it's really important that you do have a good attacking understanding this year if you want to get the best out of the game. So starting with tip number 1, it would be don't force the pass and be patient. This is really, really important. You don't want to force the pass. One thing that you see a lot of people do, certainly in FIFA 20 and in FIFA 21, just through the few clips I've seen already of people in FIFA 21, but something that a lot of people do is they force the ball. They force the pass up to the striker or into areas of the pitch. You can see in this instance, most people would be looking for Paul Pogba, that cutback. For me, I'm looking back post at Fernandes. I'm looking for that low-driven cross to the back post. And that's exactly what Martial does, puts it pinpoint to Fernandes. And the point I was trying to make is most people try and force the ball forward too quick, and your players don't move up the pitch quick enough. It's really, really important, especially this year in FIFA 20. Slow and methodical build-up is really where the game is at this year. If you're someone who just likes to ping the ball, as fast as possible, you're not. It's not the game for you. You do have to slow your play down a little bit. You see that great build-up and move. Unfortunately, we didn't score the goal there, but you can see just in the way that we're playing, this is an absolutely amazing goal. This just really shows. This guy was pressing me really, really well in this example. You can see he's making it difficult for me, to make a pass, but we're not rushing, and he makes a mistake. We're able to slip past his fullback, and now you can see the numbers that we've got beyond his midfield, and we're just able to then run at his back 4. He then has to control one of his defenders, and Martial is just able to get slipped in there by Pogba and then chip it. Is a perfect finish there from Martial. But it is extremely important that you are patient. Wait for the attack to develop naturally. Don't force the ball into dangerous areas where you could potentially lose the ball and maybe even get counter-attacked. It's really important. As I've stressed, I'm trying to stress that it's super, super important. You can see from my opponent's point of view, a couple of examples here. We can see that obviously we're tracking the run there of Ronaldo, and again, he's just trying to force the ball in there. We're just able to make that tackle, and this is something you see a lot of people do. A couple of other examples here. Again, up the right-hand side with Ronaldo, he's got 4 players in the box, as you can see. He's got a good set of players attacking, so he's got plenty of numbers forward. But you can see we are man marking him. We've got, we're doubling up. We've got each player marked, so there's nothing for him to do. So what he needs to do is just put his foot on the ball. Instead, he just decides to put a cross in to absolutely nobody, and then we're able to just get the ball. This is something that you see a lot of people do. Again, gets the ball with Mane. First thought is, let me just pass the ball forwards, and the pass just isn't there. So do not pass the ball forwards if the pass isn't there. Next up, tip number 2, we have got recycling the play. Now, what do we mean by recycling the play? What we mean by recycling the play is much kind of follows on from the first point that we were making. It's kind of, if you get into a position, for example, on the wing, and there's just not a pass and not an obvious pass for you to make, just pass the ball backwards. Just retain possession of the ball. Don't just try and force a pass into somebody and turn possession over, because it may end up in a counter attack or something like that. But it's really, really important that if the attack isn't there, you just put your foot on the ball, pass it back to your midfielder, pass it back to your right back, your left back, somebody who's there. This is a clip that we've already seen with De Bruyne. He sprays it out here to Bruno Fernandes, but then rather than just taking the ball forwards, we just knock it back to Davis. We try and work it differently, and now you can see on the top of the screen, Davis is now, because we've worked that ball backwards, gets that space up the left hand side. Martial's now able to drift into a little bit of space just by when we got the ball, not by just holding the sprint button down and running in a straight line. Again, chips it over this time to De Bruyne. You can see it's a great example of recycling the play, and this leads to a goal. De Bruyne is obviously out here on the right hand side. There's no obvious pass. The 2 guys that are nearest us, we're not able to pass the ball to because they are both marked. De Bruyne makes a really good run, evades a couple of tackles in the middle of the pitch, play that extra pass, and then Fernandes gets the touch. Rather than trying to force a pass into one of those midfielders, rather than what we did is we just passed that ball back to, I think it was Yedlin that we had at the right back, and then De Bruyne, Fernandes, Martial, Pogba. They're just able to do their thing, find the space, and turn what could potentially for most people have been a losing situation into a goal. Again, this guy gets the ball, he's got 4 numbers behind him, only 1 guy in front, still tries to play the ball forwards, and we're able to just intercept that very, very easily. And that is a mistake that you see so many people do, especially a lot of not worse players, but just guys that don't necessarily understand the game maybe as well as they can. And hopefully a video like this will understand. If you're somebody who's watching this and you can say, okay, that's a mistake that I make, now you can kind of see that mistake, and you can just see the possession stats, how just we're able to dominate the game, and in offensive areas of the pitch as well, not just holding possession in defense and making our stats look good, really being attacking and holding possession in really key attacking areas. Tip number 3 would be to mix up your attacks and be unpredictable. This is really, really important this year, because the one thing, the advantage myself had, someone like myself and just playing yesterday and last night and a little bit today and on the beta, when I was lucky enough to get on the beta, having that understanding of the game, and there was not really a clear meta in this game. It's very much, everything feels very, very balanced. It feels like a game where you have to be good at everything. If you're someone who's just a pace abuser, someone who just does tiki-taka, it's very, very important this year that you have everything in your game. You can't just be a specialist in one style, in one, way of attacking. If you're someone who's just a skiller, or you're somebody who just likes to hold lots of possession, it's really important that you're able to attack in lots of different ways. You'll see in lots of these clips here, we attack down the wing, we use tiki-taka, we use skill, we do use pace, we sometimes go over the top. We build our attacks slowly. We do a variety of different things, which then allow us to, of this time we're crossing the ball, as we've already seen this clip, this back post cross from Martial to Fernandes. Crossing is another way. It's just, you've got to have a lot of strings to your bow this year, because there isn't one meta overpowered technique right now. Now that could very easily change, obviously, with patches and things, and the more people play the game, the more they will figure out what is the strengths and weaknesses of the game. So at some point a meta will appear, or an obvious meta will appear, and then people will start to work through that. But right now, it's very, very important that you are a well-rounded player. And I think just generally this game, even playing on the beta is one thing that I did notice myself, that being a well-rounded FIFA player, good in all areas of the pitch, good in offense, good in possession, know some skills, you just know lots of different techniques that are able to give you multiple opportunities to score goals is very, very important. Scoring a chip shot there. Also knowing the shot types, knowing that you can finesse, you can hit some, you can use some chip shots. Sometimes heading is more effective this year in the game. We haven't got the clip, but there was the first 2 goals that I scored this year came from 2 crosses, and they were actually 2 Martial. So crossing is very effective as well. It's, like I said, it's very, very important that you're able to vary your attacks and not just be a one-trick pony, because being a one-trick pony in this game, you will get found out and you will struggle. And then tip number 4 that we have to finish off this video is playing with high attacking fullbacks. You'll see some good clips here, mostly of Alphonso Davies, who I was lucky enough to get in the draft, and he is a phenomenal fullback. Just to say, obviously that pace is very, very important, but also he's very, very important because his positioning, not just Davis, I'm sure there's plenty of other fullbacks, just from my experience. Fullbacks are really important. You want to have them as high up the pitch as you can, because they just give you that extra, again, that just extra variety when you're attacking. If you're somebody who's used to playing with your fullbacks on stay back while attacking, my philosophy this year when playing FIFA is I'm kind of trying to adopt the philosophy of a Liverpool, of a Man City, of a Bayern Munich. I'm trying to play with that high offensive line, fullbacks flying up the pitch, just giving me an extra body up the top end of the pitch. You'll see a couple of clips coming up with Davis. He's so high on that left-hand side, and it's just very difficult for your opponent to mark. Again, we've seen that clip there with Davis running down that left-hand side, got plenty of space, and is able to pick Martial out, but as we know, he wasn't able to score the goal. But having your fullbacks at the top end of the pitch makes it very, very difficult for people to defend, because it's just an extra body that they don't have, and they just have to pull defenders and midfielders, and it just makes it really tricky. And obviously, the more defenders and the more players they're pulling around, the more calm and composed you can be, and it just makes it so much easier for you to score goals. And you've just got more bodies at the top end of the pitch. at the end of the day, it's a calculated risk. I heard Jamie Carragher saying this on Monday Night Football, I think it was the other day, playing with that super high line. It's a calculated risk because you will give up one or two opportunities in defence, no doubt, because obviously your fullbacks will get caught high up the pitch, and there will be one or two opportunities where you're going to get caught out, and your opponents may get some chances and may even score some goals. But the amount of opportunities that it should generate for you should far outweigh what it should give away. You can see Davis really high up the pitch here. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to pick anyone out, but it's just, again, rather than that being Fernandes or De Bruyne, it's just an extra play. You know, now it allows Fernandes or De Bruyne to be free. You can see this switcher play here to Pogba, and you can see how high up the pitch Davis is, and it just makes it more difficult for your opponent to defend. So having that extra body at the top end of the pitch really does help. And if you're a decent defender, it shouldn't harm you too much in defense. But that is it for our attacking tutorial. Hopefully you did find it useful and use these tips, because for me personally, I love this game so far. I've really enjoyed playing the game, and just using these little things that I've suggested, I've had so much success on this game. And I'm a decent player, decent FIFA player, but I've had unbelievable success so far on this game. So if you do use these tips, do let me know in the comment section if you did find the video useful. It will be much appreciated. If you could subscribe as well, that would be much appreciated. But hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. But that is all for today, guys. Have an awesome day. I'm out.